Just going to review a little bit of factoring because it's been such a long time. So remember when you're factoring, the first thing you should do is look to see if there's anything common in the terms, right? Anything that's in all three of these, which there is not, right? For all of these, there is nothing common. So I'll tell you that right off the bat. But then, if there's nothing common, then you want to try to do the factoring. Then you want to try to do the factoring with the two sets of parentheses. I forgot red is hard to see sometimes. So you start with the a squared, and that's usually the easiest part, right? You ask yourself what times what is a squared? That one would be a. Then you go down to the other end and you look at the 24. And you want to know what possible factor pairs could multiply to give you 24. Well, I like to start with 1 and 24 and work up from there. 2 times 12, 3 times, is that it? Right, good, there's one more, 4 times 6. How do you decide which one to use? How do you decide which one to use? Can you see it? How do you decide which one to use? Well, you have to look here, right there. You want the pair that will subtract to 5. So you've got to go over the list and find the pair that subtracts to 5. Is there a pair that subtracts to 5? Is there? Is there a pair that subtracts to 5? Can you just go like this? There is a pair? Camden, are you awake? That was a cross between a grunt and a yeah. Can you tell me if there's a pair that subtracts to 5, Camden? 3 and 8, right. So there we go, 3 and 8. That goes 3, 8. Now the signs. Once you have the letters and numbers, then you have to put the signs in. And you start down here at the end, it's a negative. And you want to know, how do you multiply those two numbers and end up with a negative answer? Well, it has to be one of each. You have to have a positive and a negative, right? One of each. But you can't just throw them in there anywhere. When it's one of each, you look right here, the bigger one of these two, what's bigger, 3 or 8? 8 is bigger, it gets the sign in the middle. So 8 gets the negative, which means that the 3 would get the positive. Remember, when it's one of each, the bigger one of these two gets the sign that's in the middle there. So negative 8 and then a positive 3. And then, of course, you got to do the inside-outside double check. Inside is plus 3a. Outside, and what do you get there? It better be this, right? Negative 5a. So we're good. Let's keep going. Let's review a bunch. X squared, x and x. Everybody should be able to remember that part, right? Go to the end, it's a 24. Oh, we saw 24. We just did 24. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 times 6. Those all give you 24. Well, why are we doing the same one? Well, it's not quite the same one. Now I need a pair that subtracts to 5. Is there a pair that would subtract to 5? We just did that pair. It's 3 and 8. It's 3 and 8. It's 3 and 8. So it's still a minus here. How do you multiply these two numbers and get a minus? It's got to be one of each, just like it was here. But, when it's one of each, you take the bigger gets the sign in the middle. Now the sign in the middle is a plus. So it's plus the 8 and minus the 3, right? Do you remember that? So what do we get? This is, and this is, does that combine to give me a 5x? Yes. Anybody with questions so far? How about the next? I'll do this one, m squared, it's got to be m. Go down to the other end, I've got a 24 again. It could be 1 and 24, it could be 2 and 12, it could be 3 times 8, it could be 4 times 6. Holy cow. Now I need a pair that adds to 11. Is there a pair there that would add to 11? Tristan's shaking his head yes. Either that or he's nodding off. Which pair, Tristan? 3 and 8. 3 plus 8 gives you 11. So I know it's 3 and 8 again. It's 3 and 8 again. But now the signs are a little bit different. How do I multiply the two numbers and end up with a positive? What times what gives me a positive, Donahue? Or, oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Or?
Negative.
Right. Now it's either positive times positive gives me the positive, or negative times negative. How do I decide which one? Now you look right here. Whatever that one is, that's what these two are. Right? Multiply inside, outside. That's plus 3m. That's plus 8m. Did I have you for algebra 1?
No. I was letting we had calculus. And then we did calculus for geometry.
And then to me.
Yeah.
And then to me, algebra 2. How about this one? I've got v squared, v times v, down to 24 again. I did that on purpose. Could be 1 and 24, could be 2 and 12, could be 3 and 8, could be 4 and 6. What do I need this time? I need the pair that subtracts to 2. Is there a pair that subtracts to 2? Is there a pair that subtracts to 2? Right, 4 and 6. 6 take away 4 is 2. So, 4, 6. What kind of signs will I have? One of each? One of each? I think they're all asleep today. One of each. We're going to have one of each. We're going to have a positive and a negative. That's how you get a negative down here. It's got to be one of each. And then you take the bigger one, 4 or 6. 6 is bigger. It gets this. So 6 gets the negative, 4 gets the positive. Is it all coming back to you now? You have to be so loud. I just woke up. Is it coming back to you now? How about one more just for fun? I don't know how much more fun we can handle. X. I've got a 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. I want to go home. Now I need the pair that subtracts to 5. Subtract to 5, which pair? If any. There might not be any that subtract to 5. Right, good. 3 and 8 again. Boy, they're on the ball this morning. 3 and 8. It's a negative. How do I get a negative sign? Multiply two things, get a negative. It's got to be one of each. The bigger, which one's bigger? 8. It gets the. Did we do that one already?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Here. Let's change it. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's change it up. Oh. I'm going to change it up. There. So if it factors x, 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. I need the pair that will subtract to 14. Find me the pair that subtracts to 14. What's 24 take away 1? 23. That doesn't work. What's 12 take away 2? It's 10. Not add. They don't have to add to, they need to subtract to 14. That one doesn't work. 8 take away 3 is 5. 6 take away 4 is 2. None of them work. What happens when none of them work? Prime. It's prime. It's prime. Are we having fun yet? I don't think they're having fun. Should have passed out. What is that they drink? Monster? Should have passed that out this morning. Have a Monster. Anybody with questions? Do you have questions? Are there any questions? Does anyone have a question? So I have a few review problems for you. Hopefully I have a few review. That's not right. 648. On 648. I better change this in my book. How many do I have? $6.48. Why do I bother with this book? $6.48. Starting with 75. Page 648. Numbers 75 to 89. That's 15 of them. It's 824. You should be able to get that many done. Page 648, 75 to 89. Hey, Dominic, do you know how to flip my camera? So what I see there on this